10 countries where Americans can't visit anymore in 2025. The shocking reality. Imagine planning the trip of a lifetime only to find out that your US passport is completely useless in certain countries. In 2025, Americans are officially banned from entering some of the world's most intriguing, historic, and even dangerous destinations. Some of these bans are the result of diplomatic breakdowns, others stem from national security fears, and in some cases, these countries just don't want Americans visiting anymore. From a nuclear-armed nation shrouded in secrecy to a war-torn paradise once filled with tourists. This list will take you through the 10 countries where Americans are no longer welcome and the shocking reasons why. Make sure to watch until the end, because the number one country on this list might be the most unexpected. 10. North Korea. The Hermit Kingdom is off limits. Starting off our list is one of the most mysterious and isolated countries in the world. North Korea. Now, let's be honest, North Korea has never been a top vacation spot for Americans. But for those few adventure seekers who dared to visit, that door is now completely shut. Here's why. In 2024, North Korea closed its borders to all Americans, citing national security threats and espionage concerns. The move came after US sanctions tightened and North Korea ramped up nuclear testing. And let's not forget, North Korea is extremely wary of foreigners bringing in diseases, a major reason why even diplomats and aid workers have been kept out. For the handful of Americans who did visit before the ban, their trips were strictly controlled by government minders. Now, even that limited access is gone. Could this travel ban ever be lifted? Probably not anytime soon. North Korea remains one of the most secretive and hostile nations on Earth. 9. Russia, the superpower that shut the door. This one is huge. Russia, one of the largest and most powerful countries in the world, has completely banned American travelers. Think about that. No more visits to Moscow's Red Square, no more St. Petersburg canals, and definitely no more Siberian adventures. So, what happened? US-Russia relations have been crumbling for years. But things hit a breaking point in 2024 after new accusations of election interference, cyber attacks, and espionage. Russia responded by cutting off all American visas, essentially making it impossible for US citizens to enter. The impact. In 2023, over 300,000 Americans visited Russia, pouring millions of dollars into its tourism industry. In 2025, that number is 0. For Americans with Russian family ties, this is devastating. Many are now relying on video calls instead of long-awaited reunions. Will Russia ever lift this ban? That depends on how tense relations get. But for now, Russia is closed for business if you have a US passport. 8. Iran, a land of ancient wonders, but not for Americans. Iran is home to breathtaking Persian architecture, ancient cities, and a rich cultural history. But for Americans, it's now off limits. In 2024, Iran officially banned US citizens, claiming it needed to protect its country from espionage and foreign interference. Ongoing tensions over nuclear policies and economic sanctions played a major role in this decision. Before the ban, Iran was an incredibly rewarding destination for Americans who visited. Tourists raved about Persian hospitality, stunning bazaars, and the food. But now, if you were dreaming of seeing Persepolis or Isfahan, you'll have to wait for a diplomatic miracle. 7. Cuba, the roller coaster relationship continues. This one hurts. Cuba, just 90 miles off the coast of Florida, is once again off limits for Americans. In 2016, diplomatic ties were restored, and Americans rushed to see Havana's colorful streets, classic cars, and vibrant nightlife. But in 2024, Cuba shut its doors again, blaming foreign influence from the U.S. Cuba's economy relies heavily on tourism, and this ban is already hurting local businesses. Here's an ironic twist. While American-made cars from the 1950s are everywhere, American tourists are nowhere to be found. 6. Venezuela, the country that wants nothing to do with the U.S. Once a wealthy nation, Venezuela has plunged into chaos. The U.S. imposed harsh sanctions, supporting Venezuelan opposition groups. In retaliation, Venezuela completely banned American travelers in 2024. Even before the ban, Venezuela was considered one of the most dangerous destinations in the world. Now, Americans who once traveled for work, family, or adventure are completely shut out. 5. Libya, a nation in ruins. Libya has been a no-go since the fall of Gaddafi in 2011. Libya has been in a perpetual state of civil war. In 2024, Libya officially banned Americans, citing espionage fears. With no central government, ongoing conflict, and terrorist groups, it's not hard to see why this is one of the most dangerous places on earth. 4. Yemen, a country devastated by war. Yemen is in one of the worst humanitarian crises in modern history. A brutal civil war has torn the country apart since 2015. In 2024, Yemen officially banned American visitors, citing security concerns. With millions facing famine and disease, this war-torn country is simply too unstable for any travel. 3. Afghanistan. The Taliban says no more. Since the U.S. withdrawal in 2021, Afghanistan has been under Taliban rule. In 2024, the Taliban officially banned Americans, citing a need to protect Afghan sovereignty. With rampant poverty, human rights concerns, and security risks, Afghanistan is completely closed off. 2. Syria, the war-torn nation that closed its doors. Syria's brutal civil war has left it in ruins. In 2024, Syria banned all American travelers, blaming espionage and foreign intervention. With entire cities destroyed, Syria is one of the most unstable places in the world. 1. Myanmar, a rising tourist hotspot, now closed. Once a rising star in Southeast Asian tourism, Myanmar has become one of the most oppressive regimes on the planet. In 2024, the military junta banned American visitors, trying to cut off foreign influence. With violent crackdowns and political unrest, Myanmar is now off. These bans aren't just about travel. They're about global politics, security, and shifting alliances. Will these bans ever be lifted? Only time will tell. Until then, these 10 countries are officially off limits to Americans in 2025. Which country on this list surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments.